Hello.
Hello.
Alright, I'm just gonna start.
Alright, cool beans.
No. That felt really good. Okay. Hello and welcome to the YASEcast. This is episode number 42, coming right at you. I'm Nick. Joining me today, I have Morgan and I got Toops.
What's up?
2P,
What's
Toops, whatever you want to call them.
I think I like Toops.
There you go. Toops it is.
I just like to call him my friend.
There you go. Yeah, so
That's the best name of all.
a little behind the scenes, I forgot about the concept of time and also when we normally record. You'd think after doing 41 episodes or 40, maybe 39, that I would probably remember that. No, I did not.
I mean, we change the time all the time. It's never been exactly, well, yeah, whatever.
I mean,
And we've just been, Toops and I just been sitting here vibing and catching up. We haven't talked in a while. And I look at my clock and I'm like, it's like 8:20. Don't we record at 8? It's like, so where's Lamo? Where's Nick?
Hello, I'm here. Yeah, so I've been getting real into the podcast, a more civilized, what the fuck is it called?
A more civilized age.
Yes, a more civilized age. Thank you.
Yep.
And
I'm
so
also very into it.
I did something that I haven't done in a very, very, very long time just now. I got sucked down into like a weird, I'm just going to read up a bunch of shit on Wikipedia. And then I'm going to look at, I never watched Rise of Skywalker. So I'm going to look up hey, what's the fight scene from there? I was going to watch that. And I was like, wow, this kind of sucks. That's what I've been doing for the past half hour.
Yeah, it's
no shame.
It's a good podcast. I've also gotten really sucked into that. Not so much on the Wikipedia end, but I look forward to that maybe the most of anything that I'm listening to right now.
Honestly, same.
And I've never watched Clone Wars, so dear listener, I guess how would you pitch this? This is basically like a ensemble. It's another Austin Walker podcast, basically, where they just talk about the Clone Wars cartoon, which I've never watched and had no knowledge of, but listening to these people get super passionate and super into it, it's actually really engaging. And yeah,
and so I don't know if I'm going to assume they're going to go through all of the Star Wars media, because they start up with the first two prequel movies, and then the Clone Wars movie, and then now the Clone Wars show, and then I'm sure eventually they'll get to Revenge of the Sith. I think that was the next one. But yeah, I've also never watched the Clone Wars, so I'm really interested in it. Just from the point of view of, I really enjoy that group's criticism on a lot of things. So I'm happy to see them doing stuff relating to Star Wars, because I haven't gone back and watched the prequel. I know general consensus is, man, prequels are bad, but I haven't actually watched any of it in I don't know how long.
they almost make them sound interesting. I have really negative memories of them, but listening to them go through and be like, oh, and then this, and then having that perspective and the criticism that they do bring to it, it's got me thinking that maybe if I were to watch them and now that I'm a little bit older, I'd be able to appreciate them in a different way. I don't know. I just like listening to Austin Walker's voice, I'll be honest.
It's funny because I went through the same thing where I was like, maybe I'll rewatch these. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I would definitely suggest rewatching them. I watched them recently, and it's just... I want to say they don't make them like this anymore, but I don't even know if they made them like the Star Wars prequels ever. It's just a very, very, very rare where one guy gets to make all the decisions, and good or bad, it's just all of his ideas end up on the screen. There was one part where I was just where it really hit me is that, Princess Amidala? She goes to a royalty school.
Yeah, she goes to a prep school. It's like
she
private...
goes to a prep school where all the other royalty go to. It's not a major point, but I was just if that was made by committee, people would be like, that idea is absolutely insane. We're not going to put that in the movie. But since it was just all George Lucas, it gets in the movie. And there's like a lot of just stuff like that. So it's really interesting. I definitely would watch it.
I think there is another.
Yeah.
I think there might be another movie that was made like that.
Like what?
I think The Room,
yes.
and the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
No. Another piece of media I definitely don't want to rewatch.
Oh, come on. It's great.
No.
I've gone on an arc with The Room. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is a goofy, funny movie. And then I read The Disaster Artist. And now when I watch it, I'm like, this is a deeply illuminating character study. Not even a character study. It's like a projective test. It's like a Rorschach test. Tommy Wiseau stared at a movie, empty film hard enough that it produced a movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the route of like the everything in the room and how the room was created is just it's a reflection and a projection of Tommy Wiseau's like psyche, and you could probably learn a lot about him. But then I was like, no, he just willed it. I was like, oh, okay, we can go that route.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at. So thank you for the alley-oop, because I clearly missed it the first time.
You're welcome.
But yeah, it's actually.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The other thing about the prequels is that it's about the Iraq War.
So General Grievous, his race is pretty much like he's pretty much an allegory for the Mujahideen.
Like what?
Yeah,
just like what? How do I say this? Not like after this you can give your point, but it's just if you look at when Star Wars was made, which is like late 70s, early 80s, the last major war we had is World War II, where we were definitely the good guys and the other guys were definitely the bad guys. And then when the prequel started, we had the Iraq War in our mind, and like if you like Star Wars original trilogy is just all like Darth Vader's bad, the Empire's bad, and then the prequels is all like really complicated, like we're doing this trade war. The Trade Federation, blah, 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 and then the other people, blah, 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 the Senate, blah, 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 and it's really confusing.
And we need to give one person absolute power to make decisions about war, and you're like, damn, George W. Bush is Emperor Palpatine, you're right.
And it's kind of like how you feel covering the Iraq War, where it's just a lot more confusing than World War II would be, like, just living inside World War II. So, maybe, I don't know, if you rewatch the prequels, maybe have that in mind to see how that affects your enjoyment of it.
That's interesting. I think as a kid, that definitely would have gone over my head, and I was what?
Absolutely.
Like in middle school when that came out? So I think if I were to rewatch those now, I would be like, oh yeah, this is a very 9/11, like post 9/11 movie.
I worked at a movie theater when the third one came out. And I remember I would take a lunch break, and you could go into the theater during your lunch break, but I would go to Wendy's and come back and eat the Wendy's burger in the theater. This has no interesting conclusion. That's just...
that's just hey, y'all, check out Wendy's.
Just identify episode 3, especially the part where Obi-Wan rides the lizard horse thing with
I love good lizard.
Wendy's burgers.
All right.
All right.
But speaking of fast food, this is just an important note for everyone. Potatoes are back at Taco Bell.
Yeah. But potatoes are also gone from Taco Bell. Because in order to gain something great, we had to lose something great. And I would like to offer a moment of silence for Taco Bell's nacho fries, which are no longer on the menu.
I'm not going to miss them.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Nacho fries actually slapped.
Yeah, you know what?
It wasn't anything crazy, but like, damn. They might have
been nacho fries, but right now they're nacho fries.
Damn. Cold-blooded. After a moment of silence, you pull this shit.
I wasn't silent.
We were all silent. And I keep dropping things on my desk. I should just put things down.
That's why I stopped keeping things on my desk, and I got the fancy boom mic because I can't stop fiddling with things.
I need something. Just looking around, what can I play with? And you have something.
You gotta get the one thing I do have one thing on my desk. Do y'all remember the fidget cube?
Yeah,
There's like a big. I have one of
lost it.
those. Yeah.
I have a little octopus Jess crocheted me.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed about losing Nacho. I did get a spicy potato soft taco yesterday, and I was like, "Yo, damn, we back. We back.
We back."
I was very happy, but also R.I.P. to Nacho fries.
It's alchemy.
Never got to try them. That's it.
Rip.
Like they weren't. It was just like fries with like nacho seasoning, which like, hey, it's nothing crazy. And they also came with like melted cheese you could dip into. It's nothing crazy. That sounds
pretty good, actually.
Exactly, right? It's not a groundbreaking idea, but you're like, it's good.
It's like it's basic, but like it's definitely a Taco Bell thing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I could be about it. All right, I'm going to join you. I take back my earlier comment, but they are still nacho fries.
Gone, but
they're
not
no one's
forgotten.
fries. Oh.
What is it? What is it in Fullmetal Alchemist? The law of equivalent exchange.
Equivalent exchange, yeah. Like something must be lost for something gained.
Edward Elric put nacho fries into a summoning circle, did some shit, and now we got potatoes back.
And there's still, it's all spuds. It's all spuds. So
Why
it
can't
holds
they
up.
just have both though? Put some fucking nacho fries in a taco. Why not?
Look, you take your stimulus check and you walk into Taco Bell and you say $1,400 hit. I want the nacho fries.
Yo, give me all the nacho fries you fuckers are holding on to. I know them shit's probably gonna last like 20 years in the freezer.
They're probably still there. They're like under lock and key. They're not allowed to touch them anymore. You good?
No.
No.
I'm thinking about there's gotta be like an armored truck that's gonna come to pick up these nacho fries.
And dispose of them safely.
They can't have anything less than the highest security. I'm dying.
I think they can. It's like, please don't die.
I'll try.
Snake, no!
Otacon. What do you know about nacho fries?
Well, I know that in my Japanese animes, Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh my god, and there's always like someone you could call Metal Gear Solid. It's like, hey, tell me about the weapon I have equipped. Just tell me about the Taco Bell item I'm holding in my hand.
Snake, that's a spicy potato taco. It was gone from the menu for some time, but it just recently came back and there's a lot of social media buzz.
Snake, that's a Mexican pizza. Now, hold on a moment. It doesn't actually come from Mexico. This comes from the United States of America.
Taco Bell is such a weird thing.
It's so weird.
Like how do you place that? It's not even Tex-Mex. It's just Taco Bell.
Yeah, it fits in its own little niche. Also, the aesthetics, the Taco Bell aesthetics, at least like the like 90s Taco Bell, that's a whole ass vibe.
with the Chihuahua?
No. I'm saying like you walk into a Taco Bell.
Oh, you mean like the modern Taco Bell throwback?
Yes, it's like that shade of purple. Like I would like a taco. Like if I wore makeup, I would like a Taco Bell palette.
I'm sure it exists. There's a Chipotle palette now.
Oh, I'm sure, but like you have like that Baja Blast green. That's a good ass green. You have that old school Taco Bell purple. That's it. It's 2 colors in a palette. That's what else do you need? What else do you need?
A lot, actually.
Okay. Tortilla color.
Please stop. You're gonna will this into existence and it's gonna suck. And by that I mean I'm gonna want it, and I'm gonna spend money on it, and it's gonna sit with all my other palettes that never get used, like the one that's themed after the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Wow, that's a mood.
Yeah, I have an East German. The color story is East Germany before the fall. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but there is a color on it. It features such colors as discotheque and poor but sexy.
What?
Yeah. Also, the wall.
All right. Oh, there is a. Oh my god! One there. Oh, this isn't a Taco Bell, it's just a taco, but something amazing. There's a site called usbrandcolors.com, and it gives you the hex codes for like each brand's like color and their logo.
All right.
This kind of rules.
Does it?
So on my fancy schmancy keyboard, I can customize each LED for each key.
Are you going to make a Taco Bell keyboard?
Yes. But this is not out of pocket for me, because the first thing that I did, you know those like wild berry Pop-Tarts where it's like purple and it has like the blue like stripes going across it? The light blue stripes? Yeah, that was the first thing I did as a color palette for my keyboard.
I like it.
I was popping off.
You should. You deserve it. So, I got something. Since we're kind of just vibing here, it seems like we're shifting. We're shifting to a little bit of a different format for the podcast instead of having like a rigid structure here. So I played a game this past week, and I'm really curious about y'all here. Okay. So I played Little Nightmares 2.
Okay.
It's a good game. Good game. Solid game. Would recommend. It was like, an easy like. It took me a little bit longer because I did not read the manual, so I got stuck on one puzzle because I didn't realize all the controls to the game, and it took me a while trying to brute force my way through it. Turns out that there's like WASD to rotate your character, and in this section you have a flashlight, and you have to shine that flashlight on enemies to stop them from grabbing you and capturing you. So I'm trying to do like the big like awkward rotating motions. Well, turns out that if you use the arrow keys and not WASD, you can turn around much quicker. I had no idea, because, who uses the arrow keys for anything? I'm surprised the look controls weren't on the mouse. But apparently it's like only like about 4 to 6 hours to play it. So, good recommend. It's a solid game. But what struck me about it is that I don't know if it's because it's a horror game, which means that, after you've seen the scares and you've gotten the creepiness out of it, I don't know if there's a lot of, like, if that's kind of lost in terms of its appeal. But usually the games that have collectibles like this one, where you can collect hats or cosmetics or something, it really, it jogs the completionist neurons in my brain. And this time it just didn't get me. Like, usually I want to like immediately go back and like, I want to replay that and 100% it and get all the things I missed. But in this game, I was just like, I don't really care. I just trucked through it. I didn't even make an effort to find stuff. And I'm curious, like, for the two of you, what makes you want to replay a game or like revisit a movie or anything like that?
I almost never replay games. It's actually very rare for me. And I don't think I have ever in my life 100%ed a game. I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I view... the way I view getting my money's worth for a game is that a movie costs, I don't know, $10, $15, $20 if you include snacks. And it's 2 hours long. And a game is like 20 hours. And if I make 20 hours off of $50 or 30 hours of $50, I'm good. And I don't even have to finish it a lot of times where I feel like I get my money's worth. Like, I will recommend games that I did not finish to people.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, straight up. I don't know if that makes me weird. But
wait. So you could recommend a game to me, then I go and I play it, and I come back to you and say, oh man, like I really liked that game. It was really good. Thank you for recommending that. Let's talk about the ending. And then you would look at me and you would say, I never finished it.
Yeah. I didn't finish it. Yeah. I'm trying to look. I'm looking at my Steam page now, seeing I actually have an unfinished panel. I have fighters, I have unfinished, and I have uncategorized. So 20XX would recommend it. Didn't finish it, even though that's like a, what do you call it?
Mega Man.
It's like a Mega Man roguelike. 5D Chess would recommend it. Didn't finish all the puzzles. Assault Spy. That's like a budget. I'm not gonna say budget. It's like a indie game that's like Devil May Cry, but with spies. Really good. Didn't finish it. Baldur's Gate 3, I love that game. Great if you like Baldur's Gate or any RPGs. Didn't finish it. Blasphemous. Metroidvania, didn't finish it. Bloodstained, Metroidvania, I haven't gotten very far. Carry On, it's like a horror game, but you're the monster. It's like, imagine The Thing, where you're the thing.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Okay, that sounds great. And you didn't finish it?
Didn't finish it, but I definitely recommend it. Dark Souls 3,
everything is
like far enough.
I love how every one of these is, this game, I love it. Here's a short synopsis of it. It didn't finish it.
Didn't finish it? Well, because
I feel that, though. I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
There are games where it's like, 11, I know I'm not going to finish it.
Echoes of an Elusive Age, 55.5 hours. Great RPG. I love the aesthetic. I love how all the monsters are charming and have like a funny nickname, and they're all cute. It actually makes you feel guilty for killing them, but you gotta kill them anyway. Mm-hmm. 55 hours, did not finish it. It goes down like that. Ultra Kill, I'm at the final boss. Imagine if Devil May Cry and Doom Eternal did the fusion dance. That's Ultra Kill. Amazing game. Have not finished it. XCOM Chimera
I'm getting
Squad,
more upset because like all these are all some of these are games that I really love, and some of these are games that I really want to play. And you're like, it's great, I love it. I'm never gonna play this again. Never gonna finish it.
Maybe the problem is those games are too long because like I love Dragon Quest XI. But that game's fucking long, and then when you think it's over and like credits roll, it's like, nah, you still got a lot more game to play.
Yeah, I might finish all these one day, but like that's just a synopsis. There's more in there, but that's just how I roll.
I can't believe there's more in there.
And I probably listen to all those suggestions I gave you in the synopsis. I can pitch these games to make people buy them, but I didn't finish a lot of them. It's just how it is. Sometimes I'll just see a new game I want to play, and I was like, but I gotta finish this one first. And if it's not like Devil May Cry or something I really, really love, I'll just move on to the new one, and I'll just. I think the last. Okay, so going back to games, I go back to Devil May Cry 5 a lot, and fighting games. Those are the games I go back to.
All right. I respect you still, despite everything you just released. I am guilty of one of those.
Which one?
Not one of the ones you listed, but 13 Sentinels is probably the one game that right now, I started it. I love it.
I'm in the middle playing that right now. I like it a lot, but I also need to be in the right mood for it, for sure.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And that's what's been getting me, because I started it and I was streaming it. But that game is difficult to stream because it's non-linear, so basically everything is technically a spoiler, or potentially a spoiler.
You can't talk about that game at all.
I know, that's the hardest part, and it's like,
only talk about that. Yeah.
So I'm streaming it
with people you finished it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to stream this game, and my viewers are like, I don't know how to interact with you without spoiling you. And I don't know how to talk to them without spoiling them if they haven't played it. So it's like, I'm trying to make this game entertaining, and it's like, I basically should just be chatting, because I'm not talking about the game while I'm playing it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my game time has become my stream time. So it's like, if it's a game that I find difficult to stream, or I'm not sure how to stream effectively, like 13 Sentinels, it's hard to find time for that.
I just want to, before Nick starts his, I just want to say 13 Sentinels is one of, not just a great game. I love science fiction. I love science fiction books and movies. This is one of the best science fiction stories. When I say stories, I include movies and books in this. One of the best science fiction stories I have ever experienced. I cannot recommend that game enough. Are you implying
that video games are art?
Yes. God damn it. Straight up.
So bold.
You might think I'm just hyping up a game I kind of like. No. If you play this, you will agree with me. I don't care who you are out there.
Even just going through that very first chapter the game has you play, getting to the end of that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And not in just I don't understand this, but in a, okay, I'm in. I'm bought into this game. I'm bought into this world. Story has its hooks in me, so I'm excited to keep playing it.
I like it. I'm in the same boat. Like it hooks at me, and I look at my PlayStation and be like, I could play 13 Sentinels right now.
Could.
But it's even then sometimes hard to be like, if I sit down and do this, I'm gonna get pulled into this, and like, do I want to get pulled into this right now? And like, versus something like Loop Hero that I can play for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and be like, that was fun, that was fulfilling.
And I think
what I found that really works for me playing through the game, I'll do like it, and this is just kind of like, if I'm winding down for bed, I'll play a chapter or two, and like that's it. And that way, it's like, you know what? I'm really just reading. I'm not doing anything that has me like really getting amped up or like really like, you know, I'm not in like gameplay mode. Like I'm really just chilling reading the story. So it's kind of taken that role for me, which I'm a big fan of.
I vibe with it. I'll try that and like make it a wind down game.
Yeah.
But then I wish it was on. When it comes to that, I always wish it was on the Switch.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to like a wind down game or something, I want this to be portable, because like that's what got me through Hades, because I could just play for a little bit and then just power down my Switch and pick up my run right back whenever I needed to, and it was real nice.
You could try doing the whatchamacallit,
those like GeForce, whatever, like the remote play stuff. Kind
of, but yeah, the PS4 remote play. That's an app you can do on your phone.
Oh yeah, it's like PlayStation Now or something. Is that what it's called?
So that was a streaming service that they had, a buy one, but I think there's just a PS4 streaming app you can get on your phone. Huh. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure, because I think Patrick Klepek over at Waypoint Games, I think that's actually how he said he played the game most of the time. He played a lot of it lying in bed.
Vice games.
Oh, it's Vice games. According to their Twitter. But the game that honestly and kind of similar to what Toops was saying, I feel like I really don't replay a lot of games. I'll keep games installed that I really like on the notion of like, yeah, you know, I'm going to come back to this someday, but I don't. The only one though that really sticks out to me as a game that I do want to go back and replay is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which I
love that game.
I keep my PS3 under my desk in case I decide I ever want to load up the HD collection version at some point.
Like I just had it there, just like, yo, check this out. I got a PlayStation 3 right here.
It's literally just under my desk. Don't rob me. It's a PS3. It's not worth much.
Of all the ones that you would play, you wouldn't play Metal Gear Solid 2, the modern masterpiece?
I think that game gets a bad rap, but it's actually really good.
Speaking of games that are about the Iraq War. But
anyway, the thing that I like about Metal Gear Solid 3 is that, I played through it, just whatever. I tried, mostly ended up shooting things, etc. But I looked online well after the fact, and not only is there, there's higher difficulties, stuff like that, and there's difficulties where if you get spotted, like the alarm gets raised, it's game over. It's just out of curiosity, I watched a playthrough of someone doing that mode, European Extreme, without letting themselves use the tranquilizer gun, because they're like, the game is made trivial by the use of the tranquilizer gun. It's too good. So I was like, okay, well, how are they going to do this? And there's so much more to that game that I knew you could do, like control wise and like just the way you can interact with the environment. So they were like rolling barrels down hills, like timed with certain guard patrols to knock them out, but also make a sound to draw another guard over. All this really crazy stuff that I never even knew you could do in the game. There's one scene, and this is actually something I discovered by fluke. There's one point where you're trying to enter a base. And so me, to my friends who I was playing it with, because this was like when the game came out, we were all like hanging out on a weekend and playing it. I'm like, you know what? You guys are trying to sneak in. I'm just going to be polite and I'm just going to knock on the door. So I slide up against on the wall. I scoot over the doors and I knock on it. And sure as shit, someone just opens it and says, hello? And that's how I got in the base. There's so many weird little interactions in that game that you can do that make it so much more interesting than the other games to me, just in terms of like, I'm sure there's 25, 30 different ways you can tackle any given situation depending on where you are and what you have on you, and even just the things that are in the environment at that time. And to me, it's less an idea of how can I beat this game, or how do I get to the next area, but like, what are all the ways that I could explore? I feel like it lets you experiment a lot with those solutions, and that's why it kind of stays. It at least stays in the back of my head as a game that I want to keep in the rotation every once in a while.
I can see that. That's, I think Metal Gear Solid 3 in particular is a shining example of exactly that. Because I had no idea you could do stuff like that. Like just knock on the door. I guess you're right. The trank gun really does trivialize a lot of that game.
And I don't remember the name of the channel that was doing it, but they uploaded it all as a Let's Play on YouTube, just an entire thing of them playing through the game. Again, European Extreme, no trank gun. It's super cool to watch. I can't recommend it enough. I don't think I'll ever play it that way. That's a little too punishing for me. But shit, I'm thinking about it.
Is it Super Bunny Hop? It's called Super Bunny Hop, the channel?
I don't think it was that.
That's looked up. I just typed in YouTube European Extreme MGS3 no trank.
They might have done one. I don't think that was the one that I watched, but I'm sure by now there's probably a ton of like runs that do it. But it's so fucking good. Maybe it is Bunny Hop. I have no clue. I can't look at this right now. I will stop everything I'm doing on the podcast to do that.
I have one game that I want to have like an honorable mention of that I actually finished. Ooh. It was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And I enjoy the game, just like I enjoy all the games I did finish, but I had some very minor complaints, and I knew if I did not finish this game, no one was going to let me complain about it. They were just going to say it was too hard and you gave up. So I had a grudge, and I beat that game for the right to complain about some very minor hitbox issues on the final boss. And that is the only reason that kept me going to complete that in one sitting.
Man, I do not like that game.
I like it.
I do not. I'm kind of amazed you beat Sekiro, but you didn't beat Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, I actually own... I have Dark Souls 3 on Steam. I didn't beat that, but I beat Sekiro. Because I just wanted to... Because my friend, he just loves Soulsborne games, and I just wanted to say, like, yo, like, this hurtbox when I try to jump on this one boss's BS. He was just like, you're just complaining because you're a scrub. I was like, no, I'm going to beat this. And then you're going to hear me whine. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I couldn't do it. I wish I liked that game more. I like the idea of that game. Then it's like, you just die so fucking easy. It's weird. Well, not even that you die so fucking easy. I hate that I feel like there is only one right way the developers want me to play that game. And I don't like that. You have your sword. You can switch up your prosthetics a little bit if you want, but like really, I think it's, hey, choose the right one for the situation. I don't know. I wish I liked it more. That game's just too fucking punishing for me, coupled with like you can only use this one weapon and this one play style throughout the game. And that just bugged the shit out of me.
I loved it, and I was unemployed when I played it too, so that was nice.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So I'm thinking, like, what is it that draws me to want to replay a game? I think a big part of it is when you have... There's story content, so... Like, I replayed The Missing. I talked about it in this podcast. I still think that game is bulletproof, and what made me want to go back 100% it is that you get story content as you get collectibles. You get little side stories and little character bits that made me wanted to know more about it. But other stuff like Metal Gear Solid 3 or even like the Dark Souls series relative to Sekiro, it's the ability to like try new options. So when I play Dark Souls, it's like, oh cool, I played through the game with this one weapon. What if I did something else? Oh, I beat Bloodborne? Cool.
Yeah, you can do different builds and shit, yeah.
I want to do it with the cane now. Because, you know, I like my life being difficult. Threaded cane, really cool weapon. It is bad in Bloodborne.
Threaded cane is really good, actually. So because that's actually what I did. I went for a dex build using the threaded cane. Threaded cane, it gets one of the best dex scaling for damage in the game. So you can actually, if you upgrade it and you just dump your shit into dex, you could use it for the entire game. But eventually you can get the twin swords from Eileen the Crow, and then you want to fucking use those, because those things are just fucking ridiculous.
I've wanted to replay Bloodborne for a while, and I think I would do like a Canehurst build. Just simping in Canehurst.
I love Bloodborne so much.
It's
Dear
good.
Lord, if they end up releasing that on PC, if it gets pushed to PS5, like, hey, we're doing a Bloodborne remake. All right, fine, I'll buy it. You have to do so little to push me to buy a new copy of Bloodborne. It just has to be available, and I'll get it.
It's one of those few games that I think in the world of Soulsborne, or whatever you want to call that genre, it's like, for me, it's like Dungeon Munchies is number 1, and then like Bloodborne is like number 2.
Dungeon Munchies?
Dungeon Munchies.
What the fuck is Dungeon Munchies?
Haven't I told you all about Dungeon Munchies? I was geeking about that game for like a week and a half at one point. It's 2D Metroidvania where with some Souls mechanics worked in, where like if you die you can reclaim your body and everything. But the core gimmick is that you kill enemies and then you cook them into dishes, or you, almost like Monster Hunter style, make their bodies into new weapons.
Okay.
And then you can equip different, as a zombie, you can put food in your stomach but not digest it, so you equip like the various
this sounds
entrees
familiar
you make.
now.
It's really fun. It's really good. I love the art. It's really goofy. It's strong recommend on Dungeon Munchies. It's my favorite Soulsborne game.
I don't think it counts as a Soulsborne game. You can call it a Souls-like if you want to.
I'm gonna call it what I want to call it.
Then it's
I'm gonna call it a good game.
It's my favorite Mario game.
Yeah, that works too.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
But it does look good though.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
I have too many games to play though. I can't.
Don't we all?
I have a whole category on Steam which is just do not buy any more games until you've launched these.
Yeah, and you still do.
Let me see what's in there right now, because I'm actually curious. Ace Combat 7, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, The Haunted Island, a Frog Detective game, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, Time Spinner, and then Valhalla. Still haven't played that.
Valhalla is so good. I've been playing that lately. It's been my, like, once a week on my stream, I sit down and play it for a couple hours.
I don't know why I haven't launched it, but every time I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know, I just don't want to play this.
I feel like VNs are in the same boat, kind of like with 13 Sentinels, where I'm like, especially with Valhalla, I think if I was on Switch, I would play it, but I bought it on PC a long time ago, and when I sit down at my PC, it's like, do I want to play a visual novel, or do I want to turn my brain off and watch VTuber clips?
Do both.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do both. That takes too much brain power.
Damn. I'm still looking at Dungeon Munchies, and there's just, as like the pictures keep scrolling by on Steam, it looks very
It's
pretty.
a really good game. You should play it. It's a lot of fun.
It looks good.
The literally everything about it is basically perfect.
Fuck. What is this? I'm looking at a picture right now. There is a blue-skinned demon girl wearing a chef's hat, and she's holding up what looks like a cartoon, like, roast, like chunk of like roast meat with like 2 bones, and then there's like a blushing anime face in the middle of the meat. And I don't mean like it's painted or drawn on. I mean like the meat has a face.
Yeah, it's magic cooking. Simmer is great. Then you get to meet her girlfriend Grill. Simmer and Grill.
Love it.
It's
sticking together.
I cannot gush about this game. I cannot. It is a game that I'm like, this looks like a fun early access title. I picked it up, and then by the end of chapter 2 on stream, usually I stream for like 2 hours and then I'm out of gas and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I worked 8 hours before this. It's one of the hardest parts about trying to grow at my channel and my content right now is just the energy of it and having the time for it. But this game, I think at one point I sat down and played it for 4 hours straight after work and then was like, oh crap, it's 10 o'clock right now.
Oops.
Yeah, like I usually don't get into games where I lose track of time like that. And this one got me. It got me good. I even want to revisit it. It's like, even though I've kind of done everything, part of me wants to go back and replay it and be like, yeah, why not try different builds? Why not try different stuff? It's got that same little bit of replayability. Also, I think that Simmer and Grill are really cute. And I was joking that they were gay, and then you get a flashback scene where they're in their underwear hanging out watching TV, and one of them has their hand on the other one's thigh, and I was like, oh, they are gay.
just normal best friend things.
Yeah, they could just be friends. You never know.
They're cousins. That's what it is. Thank you, Sailor Moon. They're just two cousins. They just really care about each other because they're family.
It always blows my mind that they thought that made it better.
Yeah.
Like that's
makes it worse.
Like, even as a kid, I remember watching the US release of Sailor Moon on Toonami, and even I was like, this is weird. If they had just said they were gay, I would have been like, oh, that's fine. No, they're cousins. They could have just...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna keep shit posting verbally.
Okay. So after last week, I talked up, Super Cop 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Police Story. Thinking of a different movie. I watched Police Story 1 over the weekend. It's fucking fantastic. It's absolutely
you were
fucking
so dramatic
fantastic.
about that.
It's so good. It's so good. So, right from the start, one of the absolute best opening sequences I think I've ever fucking seen. It's this big. It's supposed to be a pretty straightforward drug busting shantytown. Things don't go as planned, and it's insane. You get 20 minutes of just Jackie Chan just nearly dying, but then not dying. Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
I don't think I've ever seen it, actually.
Morgan, I have great news. It's $25. You get Police Story 1 and 2 on Blu-ray on Amazon.com.
All right, I will.
Criterion Collection, even.
I will take a look at it. I'm sure there was one movie that recently I watched, since I guess now we're pivoting to that, but I watched Scotland, PA for the first time, that I feel like I should have not been surprised that the moment I tweeted about it, you were like, you haven't seen that yet?
And that wasn't even oh my god, I can't believe that was that was pure excitement of, holy shit, I get to hear what Morgan's thoughts are, her first reaction in real time.
Incredible. It was an incredible film.
It's so good.
I didn't know what to expect. So Scotland, PA it's Macbeth, but they're in Philadelphia, right?
They're in Scotland, Philadelphia.
Scotland, Philadelphia.
Sorry, Scotland, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. They're the same place. They're the same place.
Pennsylvania is so big.
The state of Philadelphia. They're I'm a doctor, in case you didn't know, dear listener.
What's the capital of Philadelphia?
This is the worst thing. So I live in the DC area, and my girlfriend lives in Virginia. And there was one moment in a moment of weakness where I may have confused Western Virginia and West Virginia, and thought they were the same. Virginia and West Virginia were the same place.
That, you know what? That's similar enough where if someone calls you on it, you could be like, no, you just misheard me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I did, but now I did think they were the same place. All right. Anyway, but they're in Pennsylvania, but it's Macbeth. The character names are the same. It's just that the setting is a burger restaurant.
Yes.
And also Macduff is Christopher Walken, which I was not ready for the moment he showed up, because this was just we've been doing a movie night with my girlfriend and her friends, and Christopher Walken walked on, and I've also been listening to a lot of the King cast.
Would you say Christopher Walken walked in?
Yes.
Sorry. I had to get that in there.
He entered the stage, and I slammed my desk because I've been watching listening to the King cast a lot. You don't watch podcasts. When the ice is gonna break from the Dead Zone.
It's such a good movie.
It's incredible. And then my girlfriend brought up afterwards an incredible piece of truly Oscar-deserving storytelling. So in Macbeth, he's undone by a walking forest, right? And this time he's undone by walking in the forest.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's really good.
It's very good.
Scotland, PA. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's Macbeth, but
really
also it's definitely not Macbeth.
It's so fucking good. I absolutely love it. I think I ended up watching it very shortly after reading Macbeth for the first time. Mm-hmm. I think I'd actually told one of the people I was playing D&D with at the time. And he's like, "Oh, you ever seen like Scotland, PA?" I was like, "No, like what is that?" He was like, "All right." He's like, "It's Macbeth, but instead of a kingdom, it's a Burger King." And I was like, "Perfect." I think it was, and also Christopher Walken is there, and I was like, "All right, this is fantastic."
And
this is everything I need to know.
Every one of his lines is flawlessly delivered.
It's so good. Also, the soundtrack is all Bad Company.
So I was really confused by that. So I went to the Wikipedia.
The soundtrack's all Bad Company songs.
And apparently it's because their catalog was really cheap to license. Mm-hmm. So it's entirely Bad Company. It's really good.
Oh, it's fantastic. I kind of want to rewatch it. It's been at least a decade since I've watched that.
Let's do a watch along.
Is that like
Jingle All the Way?
Can you stream that anywhere?
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
I'm just seeing YouTube. I looked up Scotland, PA, and the channel T-Bones Classic Media has Scotland, PA full movie.
Yo, we're done. Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Hour and 43.
Please look forward to our upcoming Scotland, PA watch along podcast.
Review podcast.
Yeah. Damn. I think that's where we tie up the show.
Right there.
I think that's it. I think, hey y'all, go to T-Bone's Classic Media YouTube page and go watch Scotland, PA right now before they also listen to the podcast and realize that it's up there and then take it down.
So if you are a person with authority, don't do that. Or
don't do that.
Be
don't
cool.
Take it down. Yeah, just be cool. It's free. It's free to be cool. You don't have to spend any fucking money to do it.
It's free to be nice.
It's free. It's fucking free. Is that gonna be the official sign off? Yo, it's free to be nice.
That'd be a good sign off.
That shit don't cost you any money.
Yo, it took 40 episodes to figure that out. Although I do think I might be a little bit late to the zeitgeist of it, but apparently there's a shithead right-winger reactionary FGC adjacent podcast that started their first episode with saying, "Welcome to like whatever the fuck our dipshit fuckhead podcast name is, the podcast where men are men and women are women." Which, it's just, you love to kick off your FGC adjacent podcast with a dog whistle so people know exactly what you're about. So one, not going to mention those guys because they suck. Mm-hmm. And we don't. And this is a podcast where trans women are women and trans men are men.
Absolutely.
And capitalism is bad. or maybe bad. Just, and it's how about trans women are women, trans men are men. Your feelings are valid, and it doesn't cost anything to be nice.
Yeah. It don't cost shit to be nice.
Don't cost shit to be nice. I like it. 40 episodes in, we have an intro.
There you go. There you go.
Now we can get to season 1. The preseason is over.
Yeah. Thank God.
This is the official launch.
We've been going through the pre. This is episode 0.42. Thank you to Morgan. Thank you to Toops for joining me. Morgan, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Morganization13. You can find my cooler friend at Ricky_Hirsch_.
Toops, can you be found on the internet at all?
Absolutely not. Leave me alone.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna watch the Snyder Cut whenever it comes out. I think it's like the 18th.
I heard that the Joker doesn't say that we live in a society.
He does not say we live in a society. It's 4 hours long, so it's going to take me a week to watch it. I am going to give it a full, honest review. I don't know if I'm going to do it on this podcast, but I just want to... I love superheroes, so I'll watch anything with superheroes in them. And I'm kind of over watching things to hate them. So I actually kind of want to watch... I want to enjoy this. It's 4 hours long, so obviously I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll give a review if I'm on this podcast next time.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
I'm also over watching things just to not enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to like stuff. I think it's kind of cool to like just genuinely like things.
Life is so much easier when you aren't trying to shit on stuff all the time. It's wild.
Yeah,
shit's enjoyable. It rules.
When they announced the Snyder Cut, I saw a lot of people being like, "No, they can't do this. Why are they giving the Snyder Cut?" I'm just like, you know what? If you don't like it, just don't watch it.
There you go.
There's a lot of people who just are obsessed with Zack Snyder and his cuts, so I'm glad that they got the Snyder Cut.
Look,
so yeah, I'm gonna be watching that.
Hell yeah!
And if you don't want to watch the 4-hour Snyder Cut, a lot of hours of VTuber stuff comes out every week.
Absolutely.
Go watch Scotland, PA if you don't want to watch the 4-hour Snyder Cut.
Watch it twice.
Why not? You got time. You still have like 20 minutes to spare.
I'll see you guys later.
All right. See y'all.
Hold on. You can find me at Lamo_SD on Twitter. I finally came up with a sign off, and you're like, all right, yeah, bye. Damn. Anyway, we will see y'all next week. Take it easy, and remember, it don't cost shit to be nice. Later, y'all.
Don't cost anything to be nice. Yeah. See you later.
Bye.